This week in the Texas Tribune Weekend Insider, Claire Cardona explains the rise in the state's need for foster care, and Brandi Grissom introduces us to a family accused of murder.
The number of removals have gone down in the state of Texas, but there have been an increase in the number of child abuse cases being reported to Child Protective Services, which experts believe is probably a result of the bad economy. This is straining Protective Services resources because there was no increase to their budget, so they have essentially more kids and less money with which to provide services for the kids. The state is trying their best to keep kids in the home or with relatives so that they, maintain a sense of community. They are doing a foster care overhaul in the next few months. They're supposed to pick a provider in January that will essentially help keep kids closer to their families if they have to go into foster care and in their same schools and around their same friends. Hopefully the next couple of years will be a learning experience, and when the legislature reconvenes, they'll be able to see just how much money they needed, what the shortfall was this year, and since they aren't sure when the recession is going to end and when things are going to get better, hopefully they'll be able to better plan for the future.
Murray Burr was a high school janitor in Cold Spring, Texas, which is a little town between Huntsville and Livingston. He was found murdered in his trailer house in 2004. He had been stabbed in the head dozens of times, and police initially focused on the family of Richard Winfrey. It was Richard Winfrey Sr., the father, and his two children, Richard Winfrey Jr. and Megan Winfrey. They charged the family, all three of them, with the murder of Murray Burr. The police said that the family killed him because they were trying to find the money that he had hidden in the house. So at trial, the main evidence that they had against all three of the Winfrey family members was evidence that they had gotten through dog sniffing. And how it works is the police had these bloodhounds sniff the clothes that Murray Burr had on at the time of his death. And then they took samples of clothing and other materials from the Winfrey family. And when the dogs alerted to the sense of the Winfrey clothing, then they considered that a match with the scents that was found on Mr. Burr at the time of his death. And that evidence was some of the primary evidence used at all three of the trials. Richard Winfrey Jr. was acquitted in about 13 minutes by the jury. Richard Winfrey Sr. was convicted of murder, but then the Court of Criminal Appeals later acquitted him, saying that the evidence from the dog sniffing was not scientific enough to be used as the primary basis for a conviction, and so he was released. Megan Winfrey, however, is still in prison. She is also arguing that she should be acquitted of the charges based on this bloodhound evidence that the court has previously said isn't strong enough on itself for an acquittal. So the prosecution says in Megan's case there's more evidence indicating that she's guilty than just the bloodhound scent. They say that she made comments to a boyfriend about Murray Burr being an easy lick. Teachers at her school overheard her talking about Mr. Burr's money, and those kinds of things, they say, provide stronger evidence than what was used against her brother and her father. The Court of Criminal Appeals recently agreed to review Megan's case, and so a decision is pending on whether or not she could be acquitted like her father and brother.